you find that other people do struggle to have that realization and to realize that, or is that?
Well, I think you have to. Did I struggle or did he struggle? I'm
Well,
sorry.
it seems like you didn't struggle to have those harder conversations.
Um, well, it was no, I did. I did struggle a little bit. When I was still in North Texas getting my master's, I remember having these. I had a conversation with Fred Hamilton, who is I really consider my mentor. He was a great, the great teacher at North Texas, as I mentioned earlier. And and I said, Fred, I don't know what I am, or am I rock or am I jazz? What am I? And you know, he said, don't worry about it, man. He looked a little like Billy Gibbons and leaned back in his chair after lunch. Don't worry about it, man. Just do you already have your own sound. Just do what you do. And you need to write, you need to write more tunes. And so I did. I took his advice. And it was funny that years later, actually, that NAMM show I mentioned, um, I was in the DePergo booth and they had a loud amp in there. I just had been playing and playing through my little Princeton, and they had a loud amp sitting over there, or two rock or some such nonsense. And I took that thing and every hour I'd crank it up and play something outrageous, just for like a minute, because the police would come with the dB meters, if you made too much noise. And so I cranked this thing up. I was playing some kind of crazy shit, and I'd turn it off, and then I'd go back to playing through my Princeton innocently. And um, I'd just done that. I just played something wild, really loud, and I was back playing through the Princeton, and I felt a presence, and I looked up, and it was Fred Hamilton, and he said, "Man, I was coming down the escalator. I heard this playing, and I knew it was you. It could only be you."
That's so great.
Yeah, and that was one of the almost chokes me up to think about him saying that to me, because it was a realization to me. I thought, man, he really, I really do have a sound of my own, and he heard it, and it wasn't my music; it was just me playing some bullshit,
Right. Right.
and he was able to hear it just from those short phrases that I played. That it was me, and so, in a sense, I kind of felt like I had arrived at that moment.
Yeah, I bet you would get that from that experience.